wait, what? No. Hello, Looney Loomers. That should be it. Joyce here. Welcome back for another one of my tutorials. Today we're going to be making a really beginner-friendly hook-only bracelet again, and it's called Relove. And this design was created a little while ago by Eternal Warlock, and you might remember him from earlier tutorials I did for his designs, and there will be more coming in the future. He calls this an old design, but I would call it one heck of a comeback. So welcome back to Looming, my friend, and thank you for letting me make your tutorials for you. I will put a link to Eternal Warlock's Instagram down in the description box so you can see more of his creations. And of course, I'll be making a few more tutorials for him in the future, as I mentioned, so stay tuned for that. And at the end of this video, I will tell you all the tags and everything you can use when you post your bracelets on the socials, so that both me and Eternal Warlock can see them too. We don't want to miss out on that. Okay, enough prattling, let's grab some stuff and let's get looming. To make this bracelet, you will need your hook, of course. Now, a double-ended hook is definitely easier to use because we're going to be doing a lot of sliding and turning again for this bracelet. But there aren't a whole lot of loops on your hook, so you could try to use your normal hook as well. If you want to do hook-only designs more often though, I would definitely like to advise you to get a double-ended hook, just to make your looming more enjoyable. It's definitely easier, okay? Of course, we'll need a clip for closing purposes and to keep your cap band in check, and as always I'll be using my trusty old stitch markers for that. And we'll need some bands. I'll be using 3 colors for this bracelet in the same color scheme as this one over there. I am obsessed with it at the moment. You can use whatever colors you want to. I will always tell you what part of the bracelet we're working on, and I will be laying out a pattern for you again later so you can match your colors up with that. It's a short and easy one today. And of course I'll put the thumbnails up as well. As always, we need to put some bands on our hook first and get a little piece started, and then I'll put everything up for you. Now please remember, you can always pause the video to catch up, rewind to watch something again, and of course you can always speed me up if I'm going too slow for you. Of course, I'll make the timestamps again too, so you can jump to certain parts really quickly by clicking on the timestamps or the chapters in the description box below. Okay, I think I'm ready to go. Are you? Let's go! So as I said before we start the actual pattern, we're going to put some bands on our hook first and get a little piece started. And the beginning of this bracelet is a bit finicky. The bands have a tendency to come undone, so just follow along with me and pay close attention. And then I'm going to do one full section with you, and then I'll lay out the pattern and put the thumbnails up, okay? Now the first color that you're going to be choosing for your cap band will be that outer color that you see here. I will be calling that color number 1. Okay, so to make the cap band, you simply place the band on your hook, give it a twist and put the other end on your hook, creating your figure 8 shape, which is your cap band. And as you know, I'm always keeping mine in check with my little stitch marker over here. It just makes way more sense to put a clip on your cap band first and not at the end. It makes closing up easier, and it helps keeping your cap band in check and identify the two single loops of the cap band. You see, it opens them up a little bit, and especially in this design that's really handy. The next color that you're going to have to choose is the inner color. I will call it color number 2, which is that pastel orange that you see here, making those little teardrop shapes in the middle. And what we're going to do is pull one of those color number 2 bands under the first loop of your cap band, and you're going to pick up that cap band, that first loop, and close it up. So this is a little bit tricky because this band is actually really loose and can come undone really easy. See, you can just pull it out. So you have to really keep an eye on that when you slide and turn, that it stays in the correct position, and just grab a hold of it. It is a little bit finicky, but that is just because it's the start of the bracelet, okay? So try to keep that in check. Make sure that it doesn't go anywhere, and then we're going to slide and turn and do the same thing on the other side. As you see, I am trying to hang on to mine so it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, I think I succeeded in doing that. Now we do the same thing on the other side. As I said, you pull your color number 2 band under that first loop of the cap band. Pick up that cap band. I grab a hold of it, you see, with my finger. Grab a hold of that cap band. Pick up the cap band, I mean, and close it up. Like that. That is what we're looking for. Okay, then you are going to grab another one of your color number 1 bands and you're going to pull that under everything on your hook. So make sure they stay the way they are, and you're only going to pick up all the color number 2 loops, okay? So just take your time. If you don't succeed the first time, just try again. I've had some bracelets where I had to do it 4 times before I finally got it, just because it depends on what kind of band you use, and this part is a little bit tricky. Okay, so just pick up all those color number 2 loops like that. Now we want those color number 2 loops to sit on the inside of the band that you just pulled through. Okay, now we are going to grab another color number 1 band, and you're going to pull it under the first 2 loops on your hook. Make sure that the color number 2 loop is on the inside, you see. Pick up that color number 2 loop and close it up. Like that. Okay, slide and turn and do the same thing on the other side. Make sure that that first color number 2 loop is on the inside of that color number 1 loop. Grab a color number 1 loop. Pull it under the first 2 loops and pick up loop number 2. Same as on the other side. Okay, this is what we're looking for. Now you're going to choose your color number 3, the final color, which makes these purple accents that you see here. These are actually 2 bands. This is 1 band and this is the other one. So you can also choose 2 different colors for that if you want to, of course. I'm sticking to my purple. And you're going to pull that color number 3 band under the first 6 loops on your hook. You have 8 loops on your hook, so you're going to come up right before that color number 2 loop over here. You're going to skip number 6, pick up 4 and 5, skip number 3 I mean, and pick up 1 and 2. I'm lost for words today. Then we want loop 1 and 2 to sit on the outside, so you rearrange those like that. You see, so you have the middle 2 bands captured with your color number 3 band. Then you're going to grab another color number 3 band. You're pulling that under everything, and you're only going to pick up loop number 3 and 6, which is that previous color number 3 band. It's sticking up a little bit. Okay, so pull it through and only pick up those 2 loops. That one, and close it up. There. That's it. That's one section started already. So this is where the actual real pattern begins. So I'll do one full section with you, and then I'll lay out the pattern and put the thumbnails up, okay? So this is the start of each section. So what we're going to start with is grabbing our color number 2 bands, and you're going to pull that under the first 2 loops. You're going to pick up loop number 1. Here comes the loony part of this tutorial. We want loop number 1 to sit on the outside. So you're going to put that loop number 2 over the loop that you just pulled through. Just help it along a little bit. Like that. Okay, then you're going to grab your color number 1 band. You're going to pull that under the first 2 loops. And pick up loop number 2. And close it up. Like that. Okay, now we're going to slide and turn and do the same thing on the other side. So you start with your color number 2 band by pulling it under the first 2 loops on your hook. Pick up loop number 1. Close it up. And make sure that loop number 1 goes under loop number 2 and sits on the inside. Like that. Then you're going to pick up your color number 1 band. Pull it under the first 2 loops and pick up loop number 2. Like that. That is what we're looking for. Oh, this should be over this one. Like that. Okay, now we're going to grab our color number 3 band. And you're going to pull that first one under the first 6 loops. You have 8 loops on your hook, so you're going to come up here. And you're going to pick up the middle 2 bands, 4 and 5. skip over 3 and pick up 1 and 2. Close it up. Make sure that 1 and 2 are on the outside, just like they are here. With 7 and 8, so 1 and 2 need to be rearranged to the outside, like that. So your color number 3 band has the 2 middle bands captured, like that. Then you grab another color number 3 band, you pull that under everything on your hook, and only pick up the previous color number 3 band, which is poking out a little bit, see? Only pick those 2 loops up and close it up. And then we're back at the start of a new section already. So that's a quick and easy one, right? I hope it's not too hard for you. There's only that finicky step where you have to switch the band's positions. So let me lay out the pattern for you and put some thumbnails up so we can continue. Here we are. This is the pattern, guys. So it is really short and simple. We are always ending each section with our 4 loops of our color number 3 on our hook, as you can see here. And then we're going to work on one side first by adding our color number 2 band, which is kind of laying on top of the other bands and in the middle of the pattern. These 2 here. Okay, so we always do one side first. Then you are going to add your color number 1 band, which is the outside of the bracelet. And then we're going to be adding our 2 color number 3 bands, which is this band here, making these 2 stripes, and the longer one over here, the outside one, holding the sections together. Okay? Doesn't seem too hard, right? It's short and simple this time. I can't wait to hear from you if you also feel like this is an easy design. Please let me know, drop a comment below so I know what I need to look for in the future for future tutorials, okay? Now let me put the thumbnails up for you and let's get back to our bracelet. Okay, so back to our bracelet. I am going to repeat the pattern with you a few more times, make a few of these whole sections together with you. And I'll put a timestamp that says pattern repeat right here, so you can always go back to this point if you want to continue making your bracelet together. But when you think you got it from here and your bracelet is almost long enough and you're at the start of the last section that you want to be making, you can jump ahead to the chapter that says closing up, and I'll show you how we can get a nice closure on our bracelet, okay? Now the first thing that we're going to do, as you can see up there, is grab your color number 2 band and you're going to pull that under the first 2 loops on your hook. And before closing it up, you pick up loop number 1, close it up, and you want that loop that you just pulled through to sit on the inside. So we're going to move that loop number 2 over the loop that you just pulled through so that it sits on the inside like so. Then you're going to grab your color number 1 band, pull it under the first 2 loops, and only pick up loop number 2, which is that color number 2 band. Okay, that should be a little bit looser than the other one. Like that. Make sure that these bands are over each other, like this. Now we're going to slide and turn and do the same thing on the other side. You start with your color number 2 band. You pull that under the first 2 loops. Pick up loop number 1, close it up and move that loop number 1 over the loop that you just pulled through, like that. Grab your color number 1 band, pull it under the first 2 loops and pick up loop number 2 and close it up, like that. Now we're going to pull our 2 color number 3 bands through. The first one you pull under the first 6 loops. You're going to skip loop number 6, pick up 5 and 4, skip loop number 3, and pick up 1 and 2. Close it up, and you want loop number 1 and 2 to sit on the outside, so it matches the other side over here, so rearrange those. Like that, hanging your color number 3 in the middle. You grab another color number 3 band and you pull it under everything on your hook and only pick up your previous band, that color number 3 band. So there's loops number 6 and loop number 3. They should be poking out a little bit to make it easier for you. Close it up and we're back at the start of a new section. So we're going to start with grabbing our color number 2 band again, pull it under the first 2 loops, And first you pick up loop number 1, close it up, move that loop number 1 over the band you just pulled through, grab a color number 1 band, also pull that one under the first 2 loops, but this time pick up loop number 2, which should be poking up a bit, close it up, and do the same thing on the other side. Grab your color number 2 band, pull it under the first 2 loops, pick up loop number 1, close it up and move loop number 1 to the outside. Wiggle, wiggle, like that. Grab your color number 1 band, pull it under the first 2, and pick up loop number 2 this time. Close it up. There we go. Now we can add our color number 3 band. The first one gets pulled under the first 6 loops. You're going to pick up the middle 2 loops, loops number 4 and 5, and 1 and 2. Close it up and move 1 and 2 to the outside. Like that. Grab your second color number 3 band, pull that under everything on your hook, and only pick up the previous color number 3 band. Come here you, and close it up. And another section done already. It's such a quick and easy one, right? But still fun and a little bit of quirky steps in it. I really like it. So our color number 2 band again, pull it under the first 2 loops, pick up loop number 1. So the first time you pick up 1, the second time you pick up 2, okay? Move loop number 1 to the outside, don't forget to do that. Grab your color number 1 band, move it under the first 2 loops. Second time, so we pick up loop number 2. Close it up, slide and turn, and do the same thing on the other side. Color number 2, pull it under the first 2 bands. Pick up loop number 1, close it up, and move 1 to the outside. Grab your color number 1, pull it under the first 2 loops, and pick up the second loop. And close it up. And we're back to our color number 3. Pull it under the first 6 loops. Pick up 4 and 5. Skip 3. And pick up 2 and 1. Close it up. Rearrange 2 and 1 to the outside. Grab your second color number 3. Pull it through everything. Everything. And pick up your previous band. Loops number 3 and 6. And close it up. And again, grab your color number 2. Pull it under the first 2 loops. Pick up loop number 1. Close it up. Move loop number 1 over the loop you just pulled through. It's getting dark in here. I think it's going to rain or thunder in a minute. Grab your color number 1. Pull it under the first 2 loops. And pick up loop number 2. Close it up. Slide and turn. And we're doing the same thing on the other side. Grab your color number 2. Pull it under the first 2 loops. First one, so we pick up loop number 1. Close it up. Move loop number 1 to the outside. Grab your color number 1 band. Second band we pull under the first 2 loops, so we pick up the second loop. Close it up. And our last color, color number 3. The first one we pull under the first 6 loops. Skip loop number 6, pick up 4 and 5, skip loop number 3 and pick up 1 and 2. There goes the doggy. Make sure that loop number 1 and 2 sit on the outside, like that. Grab your last color number 3 band, pull it under everything on your hook and pick up the previous band. Loops number 6 and 3 and close it up. There we go. Another full section made. Now I think that you got it from here, but if you need more help or you just want to finish making your bracelet together, go back to where it says pattern repeat and we can do that. And otherwise stay hanging here and I will show you how you can get a nice closure on your bracelet. When your bracelet is almost long enough and you're ready to start your new section before closing it up, we are going to continue making our bracelet, the last section as usual. So we're going to add our color number 2 and color number 1 first on either side. So pull your color number 2 band under the first 2 loops. Pick up loop number 1, close it up. Move loop number 1 to the outside. Add color number 1. Pull it under the first 2 loops and pick up loop number 2. Close it up and do the same thing on the other side. Grab your color number 2 band, pull it under the first 2 loops. The first time you always pick up loop number 1. Close it up, move number 1 to the outside. Grab a color number 1 band, pull it under the first 2 loops. Second time we pick up loop number 2 and close it up like that. Then we are going to grab our first color number 3 band. You're doing this the same way as before as well. You pull it under the first 6 loops. Skip loop number 6, pick up 4 and 5, skip loop number 3 and pick up 1 and 2. Close it up. Rearrange. Then you're going to grab your last band of the bracelet, your last color number 3 band. You're going to do the same thing, pull it under everything on your hook. Don't drag the rest with you. And instead of picking up your previous color number 2 band, you're just going to close it up. Like so. And this is where you can put your clip on. And that's it. There we have it. The quick and fun and gorgeous Relove bracelet by Eternal Warlock. Well, that was it for today, my Looney Loomers. Did you all have fun making this cutie? I hope so. It's another easy one, right? I promised you there will be more, and there definitely will be more after this one as well. Please don't forget to tag me and Eternal Warlock in the pictures when you have made this bracelet and you post it on social media. And use the hashtags you see on your screen right now. And of course I'll post these in the box below as usual, as well as the link to Eternal Warlock's Instagram. Now don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel with the button in the corner right here. And come find me on Instagram and Facebook too for more of my content and creations. I do give sneak peeks over there. The link to those are in the description box below as well. And if you have any questions or comments, or you want me to make a tutorial for you too, just like I did for Eternal Warlock, please feel free to message me here on Facebook and Instagram. You can always send me a private message, okay? I'll answer you as soon as possible. Stay tuned and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of my tutorials. Stay colorful, stay creative, but most of all, stay loomy. That's all, folks.